Good morning, students. This is the 12th part of Chapter 6 Democratic Resurgence. Students, so many times I have told you that this year CBSE has made many changes in the syllabus of political science. And in this chapter, some new topics have been included. Today we will discuss the support material issued by CBSE. We will discuss about Jayaprakash Narayan, Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Ram Manohar Lohia. About Jayaprakash Narayan we have studied a lot. When you will prepare your notes related to Jayaprakash Narayan, whatever is given in the book, you will include this material also. You will include this material also when you will prepare your notes for related to Jayaprakash Narayan. We have studied about Jayaprakash Narayan in the movement of Bihar. Then we have studied about 25th June Ramlila Maidan protest. Then we have studied about the 1977 election. In all that material, you will include this material also, and you will prepare a compiled question related to Jayaprakash Narayan. Jayaprakash Narayan, and he has given the slogan of total revolution, Sampurna Kranti. Jayaprakash Narayan is known for three key contributions. Number one, for he fight against corruption. In Bihar you have studied. Then principle of communitarian socialism, means he was supporter of socialism, social equality. And third contribution of Jayaprakash Narayan is total revolution. He was the first leader after independence of India who undertook a triad against corruption through the participation of youth, especially the youth of Gujarat and Bihar. We have already studied the invited Jayaprakash Narayan. Then he advocated the office of Lokpal against the corruption. He said that there should be one office of Lokpal in each and every state which will control the administrative machinery against the corruption. His principle of communitarian socialism means in India there will be a society where three encompassing key layers are there: community, reason and Rashtra. And if we combined all these, community, reason and Rashtra, then it will be an example of federation. Jayaprakash Narayan also advocated transformation of individual, society and state, and he called total revolution. Total revolution means revolution in all the spheres: moral sphere, cultural, economic, political, educational and ecological transformation. His political transformation included the right to recall, means the people, they have right to recall the government. The importance of village and mohalla samiti should be there in a democratic country. And he called for upar ke log to join political struggle for a clean politics in the country. The politics should be clean. The essence of transformation according to Jayaprakash Narayan revolves men who could be the real catalyst of change in India. Only the people can bring total revolution in all the spheres in India. So this was about Jayaprakash Narayan. Now Ram Manohar Lohia, he was a prominent supporter of socialism, and he believed that there should be democratic socialism in India. Socialism should be associated with democracy. He said that capitalism and socialism are equally irrelevant for Indian society. There should be democratic socialism with the objectives of economic objective in the form of food and housing to each and everyone, and non-economic objective of democratic socialism is democracy and freedom. He also advocated Chauburja Rajniti. Chauburja means four pillars. Chau means char, four. Burj, four pillars of politics: socialism, center, region, district, and village. These four pillars are of politics as well as socialism. Means if we want to bring socialism in country, we have to focus on center, region, district, and village. They are connected with each other, they are interlinked with each other. Lohia also argued that policy of positive action should not only for the downtrodden but also for the women and non-religious minorities also. Means the government should work not only for the backward classes or scheduled castes, they must work for the women and the non-religious minorities people. He has given the idea of democratic socialism and Chauburja Rajniti. He supported a party of socialism. It was an attempt of merging all the political parties. The party of socialism have three symbols: spade, vote, and prison. Spade means to be prepared to do efforts. Vote, power of voting, and prison means the people must be ready for sacrifices. So this was the vision of Ram Manohar Lohia. Now Deen Dayal Upadhyay, and he was a supporter of integral humanism. He was a philosopher, sociologist, economist, and politician. The theory or the philosophy which he had given is known as integral humanism, in which he said indigenous socio-economic model in which human being remains at the center of development. In 11th class, in the chapter of development, you have studied that human development should be the focus of government. The development of each and every human being in all the spheres, may be social, may be political, may be educational, may be economic, that is development. In 11th class, last chapter, you have studied about this human development. So the human being should be the center point of development. Whatever activities are done by the government for the development, that should be focused on the human development. That is to ensure the dignified life for each and every human being. All the basic needs of the people should be fulfilled. There should be sustainable consumption of natural resources. You know sustainable development? To fulfill the needs of today without harming the needs of tomorrow. Humanism enhances not only political but also economic and social democracy and freedom. The philosophy of integral humanism is based on three principles. Number one, primacy of whole, not part, टुकड़ों में नहीं, the whole, supremacy of dharma and autonomy of society. He opposed Western theory of capitalist individualism and socialism. According to him, capitalist and socialist ideology only consider the needs of human body and mind. His philosophy on the internal conscience, pure human soul, to be called Chitti, Deen Dayal Upadhyay envisaged a classless, casteless, and conflict-free social system. There should be such type of society which is classless. It is not divided into upper class or lower class, which is not divided among the caste, upper caste or lower caste, or where there is no conflict. He believed in such type of society. Students, now we will discuss about this democratic upsurgence. Again, this new topic was issued by CBSE, and while preparing your notes you have to include it. Increasing participation of the people in the politics of the country is characterized as democratic upsurge. Is it clear what is democratic upsurge? Increasing participation of the people in politics. And based on this principle, social scientists have characterized 3 democratic upsurges in India after independence. The first upsurge could be attributed from 1950s to 1970s, which was based on the participation of adult voters in Indian politics, central level as well as state level. And in this phase, they falsifies Western myth that the success of democracy needs richness, urbanization, modernization, education. In second chapter we have studied that democracy was established in India, which was a country of illiterate people. So in this first phase, it has proved that to establish democracy or to participate in democracy, there is no need of modernization, urbanization or education or access of media. Democracy can be established in a illiterate or in a poor country. And India has conducted successfully elections of parliament as well as legislative assembly. So this was the first upsurge. Now the second is during the 1980s, the participation of lower classes such as scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and OBCs has been increased. This is known as second democratic upsurge. In which decade? 1980s. This was given by Yogendra Yadav. Participation of SCs, STs and OBCs. And this participation of these lower classes people made politics more accommodative and accessible for these classes. Now they are able to participate in the politics. Although their participation did not bring any change in the standard of living of these classes, especially the Dalits, but they were able to participate. And this, because now they are able to participate in political platforms, this gave them opportunity to strengthen their self-respect and to ensure empowerment in the democratic politics. In 1990, government adopted LPG. 1991, the decade of 1990s, government has adopted LPG. This was the era of liberalization, privatization and globalization, and now the competitive market was there. The private companies came in India, and this was the third democratic upsurge. And here it was competitive electoral market, which was based on the principle of survival of the best rather than survival of the ablest. Those who are the best, only they can survive. So it underlines 3 shifts of India's electoral market: from state to market, from government to government, and from state as controller to state as facilitator. Now the role of government is not as controller, now the role of state is as facilitator. So third democratic upsurge was in 1990s. It promotes the participation of youth. In first phase, adult. In second